Okay, everybody, we've learned about the chromatic scale and the whole tone scale, and now we're going to combine the two of them and create what is most common in Western music is what we just call the diatonic scale. And right now we're just going to look at the first 5 notes. We've actually been doing it all along on C major. When we play our C 5-finger pattern, that is a diatonic scale. It's a combination of whole steps and half steps. So let's break it down. What are the whole steps and half steps in this pattern? C to D is a whole, D to E is a whole, E to F is a half, and F to G is a whole. So if we just look at the first 5 notes of pentascale, we come up with a half step between 3 and 4, the 3rd and 4th degrees. In the left hand, it's still the 3rd and 4th degrees, but it's different fingers. So when I talk about between 3 and 4, I don't mean the fingers, I mean the degrees of the scale. The first degree is C in the C scale, D 2nd degree, 3rd degree, 4th degree, and 5th. So between the 3rd and 4th degree, you have to have a half step for this to be what we call a major pentascale. Okay? So everything is a whole step except 3 to 4. So let's build the other pentascales on some other white key tonics. Okay, tonic is just the name of the scale. So let's go to G, and we'll start on a G tonic and build a pentascale in G. If you go up a whole, you get A, up a whole B, B up a half would be C, and then C up a whole is D. So nice to know that C pentascale and G pentascale feel exactly the same. They're in different locations, but they're all white keys. I'm going to continue using my right hand just because on page 42 everything's in the treble clef, but you can easily, if you want to challenge yourself, double up. Maybe I'll double up also for people that want to do it. Now go to D and let's spell a D pentascale. D, up a whole, E, up a whole. Watch out. You can't go to F because that's only a half, so you've got to go up here. And we have to call it some kind of F, so we're going to call it F sharp. D, E, F sharp, up a half to G, up a whole to A. So D major has a feeling of this black key in the middle, in the 3rd fingers. Okay. Now, why don't we call it G flat? Well, in Western music, in what I call diatonic scale patterns, which is what we're doing here, you have to have the name of every note. You can't skip a letter name. So you have to have a D, an E, and you can't have another E or that becomes a kind of chromatic scale. So you must have some kind of an F after the E. So that's why we have to call it F sharp and not G flat. We can't skip the F. Let's move on to A. A, up a whole step, B, up a whole step pushes me from C up to C sharp, D, E. So let's spell it again. A, B, C sharp, D, E. And of course they can go down as well. And notice that D major and A major feel the same. That's going to be really helpful for you to remember the feeling of each one. So those, notice they're like twins. C, if you go up 5 steps, G feels the same. If you play D and go up 5 steps, A feels the same. So they're like twins. Okay, we're going to move on to E. E is unique. It's the only one that feels this way. E, up a whole step, F sharp. Up a whole step from F sharp is G sharp, right? And then half step to A, and then B. And left hand looks like this. So that is E major pentascale. And then we're not going to go to B, and a lot of people have asked me, why are we leaving B out? And the quick answer is because here's what B looks like. And right now we're trying to avoid thumbs on a black key because that's not how we play the full octave scale when we do it. So for now, we're just going to leave B off, but we will do F. And up until now, we've only had sharps, notice, on the keys that had a sharp, a black key. So F is going to be F, up a whole G, up a whole A, up a half. So this has to be called some kind of a B. So that's why we call it B flat, not A sharp, because we've already had an A natural. And then C. So F, G, A, B flat, C. And so F will be our only key that we're learning this semester that has a flat in it, and it's B flat. On the next page, on page 43, I would like you to just take a pencil and write in, a visual picture of where all where your fingers will play for each pattern. And when it's a black key, just put an X above the black key so that it's obvious which hand is playing that. So please practice these until they're all really comfortable and you can just do them automatically.